Hello and welcome to ExcelTutorialFree.com, where you get to learn Microsoft Excel for free with these videos. And these are the following sections you should visit on our website. Single features on Excel will show you how each single feature works. Project examples is where we put it all together with different tools all in one. And custom videos is where we respond to people's questions posted in the forum section. In this video for basic tutorials, we're going to be covering this area right over here called fonts. Okay, so you'll see over here under Home tab, there'll be an area called fonts. Most of us by now know what font is. Okay, and if you do this little down arrow over here, it's going to pull up this menu over here. That's a little bit more of an extension. Okay, but for now, let's go ahead and just work with this little shortcut menu over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to write example. Okay, and I'm going to write this is one for the books. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over just example for now. And you'll notice over here the first thing you have is your font name. Of course you can choose whatever font you want. You have a big list to choose from. You have a little preview over here, shows you kind of what it does. Personally, you just kind of want to stick usually with the basics. Calibri is one of the basics nowadays. So you can choose font, then you have your size. You can make it as big. So obviously if you make the font bigger, now you won't see it, which means that you need to go over here and drag it. This is one way of looking at it. Okay, so this is another thing you can do to the font. And then over here, B is for bold. We all know that from Word, for those who played with Word before. Okay, so it's a little bit similar to Word. For those who've only done Word and are just tapping into Excel, you got your italic over here and underline over here. Okay, let me show you what this does. This is borders over here. Okay, so right now this has no border, right? If I go over here and I do all around, okay, outside borders or thick outside borders, you'll notice that it's got borders over here. Of course, you don't see it on the edges over here, but if you did print preview, then it does have a box around it. Okay, so I'm going to go back to home, and basically that is what borders does. Of course, if you just want to have back no borders, that's how you take that out. It's back to no borders right here. You have a lot of different options you can play with and see what each one does. Moving on, this is your fill button. Fill means that it's going to fill whatever color you want in the background. So here you go, I'm going to fill it with yellow. Or I could do this drop down menu and I have a bunch of different colors, or I can go specifically to a color over here. Yes, you can totally customize what color you want. So there you have it. This is how I'm going to do it. Ooh, I like this right here. Okay, however, the black looks good on it, but I want to make it white. So now I'm going to move over here for the actual text. And same process. And I'm going to make it white. White doesn't look good. How about yellow? Yellow doesn't look good. Purple. Purple. Yes, purple looks good. So this is what this means. It's going to make this whatever color you want. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually extend this out over here. And you'll see this little box came up. And I'll put it to the right over here. And basically what this does, it gives you some of the same options, just in a different, bigger screen. But you also have other things that you could do, such as a strike through, which puts a little line through the middle of this text. You could do superscript, subscript, so you can play with that and see what kind of effects it does on that. And there you go, that's what that did to that. I'm going to go back to this. I'm going to open it up again. And speaking of borders, we have an extended module of it to where you can actually pick different designs that you want. And you can actually decide if you want it to go horizontal, vertical, diagonal. So that's the cool option about extending out the full version of this. Is if you just want to go a little bit more detailed in a different way, this is one way to do it. And there you go. I just X'd out of this over here. And of course, if I go back to no borders, it took everything out. And over here, if I took out all this stuff, it'll bring it back to simplicity. I gotta take out the here you go. Took everything out, back to normal in a sense. Over here, no fill. Over here, back to black. Okay, I'm going to even use this little tool over here that decreases the font size automatically. How cool is that? Yep. So if you want to make it a little automatic way, this is one way of doing it, seeing how and that wraps up this section. That concludes today's video by ExcelTutorialFree.com. Stay tuned for more videos.